Long ago, in ancient China, there was a wealthy merchant whose daughter was stricken with a mysterious illness. The merchant summoned doctors from near and far. Each did everything he could to exact a cure. But none could return her to good health. As the days passed, she became weaker and weaker, until she could no longer eat or drink, and her sight began to fail. In desperation, the merchant made an announcement to all the villagers. He would give a generous reward to anyone who could cure his daughter's illness. As it happened, a candy peddler was in the crowd that day. He was known by all for his kindness and generosity. In fact, he gave away as much candy as he sold. Thus, he was very poor, and his family often went hungry. On his way home that evening, the peddler recalled that long ago his mother had told him about a magical herb that could cure any illness.
Yes.
When he told his wife that he planned to search for the herb the following day, she replied,
"You need to spend your time selling candy, not looking for something you'll never find. If you search for the herb, there won't be enough money to buy food for the children."
I can find it.
But the peddler insisted that he could find the herb, and that he would be gone only a day or so. In his absence, he added, she could sell the candy. And so, early the next morning, he left his home and walked a short distance to the wall that surrounded the village. He marched through its gates, and determined to find the herb, trekked all morning to a distant forest. By noon, his energy had flagged, for he was unaccustomed to walking long distances. So he rested near a small stream. Looking down, he noticed that a rock had fallen into the stream, channeling water over an ant hill. Ants scurried here and there, desperately trying to escape the onrushing torrent.
"We are all one,"
said the peddler, and dug a small ditch that channeled the water back into the stream. That done, he resumed his search for the magical herb. By mid-afternoon, the peddler was completely exhausted, and so decided to nap beneath a giant elm tree. Soon, deep in sleep, a strange dream came upon him. In it, he found himself wandering through a large city. As he wandered along, a group of ant soldiers marched up to him. The captain said,
"Our queen wishes to see you."
The astonished peddler was so fearful that he could not even respond. Thus, the soldiers marched him to the queen's castle. When the peddler saw the empress, he began to tremble.
"Do not be afraid. You are our honored guest, for you tamed the great flood like the hero Emperor Yu many years ago. We are all one. If you need anything, just ask for it and we will assist you."
"Can you help me find the magical herb that heals all illnesses?"
"I have never heard of such a plant, but I do know that if you continue to look, you will find it."
With that, the peddler awoke with a start, and to his amazement, he found himself back at the anthill by the stream where he had been earlier in the day.
This is a good omen.
Encouraged by his dream, he began searching with more determination than ever. With so much perseverance, in fact, that the peddler lost track of time, and before he knew it, darkness had descended upon the forest. To make matters worse, it suddenly turned frightfully cold, and to his dismay, he was lost. Trying to get his bearings, he looked around and spied an object in the distance. He stumbled forward until he came upon it, an old temple that lay in ruins. Just as he was about to enter, he noticed a brightly colored caterpillar. It was rushing to get to a small crack in the stairway to escape from a large and very hungry bird. The peddler yelled and waved his arms to frighten it away.
We are all one, you and I.
The peddler gathered some tender leaves to make a tasty meal for his new friend.
Just because I don't have any food doesn't mean that you have to go hungry.
That night, as the peddler slept, he slipped into a dream once again.
Oh, was that you, my little friend? Yes, I suppose so. I must be getting edgy. Good night.
You and I are one. Tomorrow, walk northward until you see a large pine tree with 3 trunks. At the bottom of it, you will find a small bead. If the bead is dissolved in pure spring water, and if the merchant's daughter drinks it, she will be healed.
The peddler now realized that it was the caterpillar who was speaking to him. Early the next morning, the peddler again set off on his quest, heading northward. He looked for the pine tree all day long, but alas, had no luck. Late in the afternoon, he was just about to give up before deciding to push ahead just a bit farther. Several minutes later, he saw the strange-looking tree. The peddler immediately began searching beneath it, but his old eyes were too weak to find a tiny bead among the thousands of pine needles. Disheartened, he began to weep. But then he remembered what the queen ant had told him.
Ant, please help me find the bead.
Instantly, an untold number of ants appeared from beneath the ground and began to search. It took only a minute or so for them to find the bead. The old peddler put it away as if it were a priceless jewel.
Thank you, my little friends, and please thank your queen for me.
Now rejuvenated, the peddler quickly made his way back through the forest and into his village. The following day, early in the morning, he went to the merchant's house, where he was met by a gatekeeper.
Halt! A poor man like you cannot enter here.
I have come to heal the merchant's daughter.
How could you, a poor peddler, cure her, eh?
Poor or rich, we are all one.
Just then, the merchant walked by the gate and overheard the conversation.
Let him enter. I said anyone could see me. I hope you'll not waste my time.
If you dissolve this magical bead in fresh spring water and have your daughter drink it, she will be cured.
The merchant followed the peddler's instructions. And his daughter returned to perfect health. The merchant was so grateful that he tripled his reward.
Wonderful job.
And so the kindly candy peddler and his family never went hungry again and were content for the rest of their lives.